Hey everybody, GrathiusXR here, better known as LiftYourGame over at Twitch, and I'm back with another video, this time looking at the auto rifle, the Monte Carlo. Probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing looking weapon in Destiny as of the moment, until the Taken King releases, and probably one of the more viable auto rifles to use in PvP now that the patch has landed and buffed all the auto rifles. Looking at the change notes, the base damage has been increased across all the archetype auto rifles, and damage fall off now starts close to the player to emphasize its role as a close range weapon. Now for the Monte Carlo specifically, to combat the base stability which has been reduced slightly, the Monte Carlo has received a stability increase to compensate for the global auto rifle changes, and its method perk won't trigger anymore when killing any of those boxes and crates that blow up. So say goodbye to any of those cheap players out there who would regenerate their health by blowing up a single little box. Now you have to actually kill players and combatants. So moving forward, is the Monte Carlo a viable auto rifle to use in PvP? All signs point to yes, purely because of its higher rate of fire and the damage it can dish out in close range encounters. Out of the main auto rifles people will be using, such as the Hardlight, Suros, Monte Carlo and the Necrochasm, if you have it, I have a feeling that the Monte Carlo is going to be a lot more viable to use because it has a higher stability than the Hardlight from what I found playing with both auto rifles. I enjoyed my time with the Monte Carlo a lot more than the Hardlight and the Suros, purely because of the higher rate of fire. I found that I was able to kill enemies quicker in close encounters than the Suros, and with the Hardlight I found that its lower stability hindered my ability to actually kill an enemy. I believe moving forward into year 2, a lot of people are going to ask whether or not auto rifles are going to be a viable weapon to use in PvP. From the videos alone and from the matches that I've played, I think that yes, auto rifles in general will be quite viable in PvP, especially trials and anything like that. If Bungie release more game types like it, moving forward, it's going to be a weapon of choice for a lot of people, purely because the higher rate of fire and the base damage increase in close range encounters for players are going to be a lot better in certain situations. In certain maps in the Taken King that have a few more open areas, it's going to be a better weapon to use, such as so pretty much going to be a better weapon to use over the hand cannons such as Last Word and Thorn and Hawkmoon. Players will find themselves resorting to auto rifles a lot more because of those certain perks and attributes. Because the Last Word and the Thorn have been nerfed in their range and stability, and the auto rifles have had a buff in their stability and base damage, I found myself, when I used the Monte Carlo, going up against players with the Last Word and the Thorn, about 70 to 80% of the time I would come out on top. Whether or not that's attributed to the fact that, you know, I landed more hits than them, they weren't as good with the hand cannons, I don't know. But from those experiences alone, I found myself actually enjoying the Monte Carlo a lot more. In maps such as Vertigo and the Drifter, I found my playtime a lot more enjoyable with the auto rifle Monte Carlo than the hand cannon, the Last Word and Thorn, because I actually got more kills. I felt more satisfied in actually killing a Guardian with that weapon, because it was probably based more on skill than luck. Whereas certain scenarios with the Last Word, where I know I've landed 2 or 3 hits on an enemy that should result in a kill, they haven't killed them, and that's a little bit concerning. But moving forward, auto rifles are definitely viable in PvP now that the new patch has buffed their damage. So if you've used the Monte Carlo or the Hardlight, if you've seen them in use, if you've never seen them in use before and this is your first time looking at them, please do leave your comments in the comment section down below on what your thoughts are on the gun, what your thoughts on auto rifles are in general, because I'd really love to hear your feedback on what it's like to use them now in PvP. And if you haven't, so please hit that subscribe button. If not, I will see you guys and girls next time when I do another video on what it's like to use the new weapons now that the 2.0 patch has landed. So until next time, I guess I'll see you then.
Heavy ammo on the way. Heavy ammo available. Only 5 minutes left. You're almost there.